From 1 to 9. I would scoop up a great big dipper full of love from the women's can. Pour the skillet, go out and do a shopping and be back before it melts in the pan. 'Cause I'm a woman, don't breathe you away, man. I'll stay away, 'cause I'm a woman.
What are you doing?
Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
And nice to see you. Why are you in my kitchen?
'Cause I'm a woman.
Okay.
It's time to cook.
Oh, good. What are we cooking? Women?
Oh my God. No, but we're featuring that great song from
Yes.
Smoky Joe's Café, which we'll talk
yes.
about later. And
So
of course, men can cook too.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe not as well as women, but they can cook.
Yes.
I've seen them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, welcome everybody.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. What are we doing?
What's
today?
our-
So it
what's
seems
kind of our
Seems like
theme?
you have control over it
Something
today.
everybody loves. Bacon.
Bacon. We love bacon.
We love bacon. So
We're
we're
doing-
going to feature things.
A whole meal of bacon.
Yeah, now I'm doing something that would go well with bacon, kind of for
Okay.
breakfast. So,
Wonderful.
you know.
Bacon for breakfast. Never heard of that.
I know. What a concept.
I'm doing an appetizer and a pork loin.
Ooh, and I'm going to do, I think maybe we've done it before, but you know, it bears repeating. $1 million bacon.
$1 million bacon. It was
Just
$2
a
million.
refresher.
$2
$2 million
million.
bacon. And then I'm going to make homemade granola, which you could
Oh,
serve
goodness.
for breakfast alongside your bacon. Have a little
Nice.
healthy alternative.
Well, let's dive in. What are we
Let's
starting
dive in.
with?
I'm going to start with my $1 million bacon.
$1 million bacon.
It's so easy.
We like it easy.
Brown sugar, put it in a pan, and never ever let, no, we'll stop.
Okay.
We'll move on from that. Okay.
That was some interesting choreography you were doing today.
Oh, I worked a long time on that. Did you like it?
I did.
Yeah.
Is this what you
See
do in
the
the
jazz hands?
Is this what you're doing when you're in the kitchen and I'm not around?
Yep.
I will tell you what I do when she's not around.
There's a camera up somewhere. I always use heavy foil and put my pan because there's going to be some fat in here. Oh, our little speaker's talking to us. I better turn that off.
So that high tech.
Yeah. So you take your bacon. I trim some of the fat off. I think I've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
I just don't like all that fat and there's so much grease.
Yeah.
So I kind of pre-trim it.
Nice.
And you're just gonna do this. You're gonna coat your bacon in your brown sugar. It's so easy.
That's just straight brown sugar.
Straight brown sugar. You know, I was thinking, on our last episode, I made a dessert that had a little chili powder in it.
Yes, you did.
And I'm thinking you could put a little cayenne, a little seasoning in here,
I like that.
just to give it a little kick if you wanted. Yeah. And that's all you have to do. You're just coating it. And then, as we've mentioned before, one of my favorite techniques to cook bacon is in the oven. You
Yes.
don't have to deal with all the grease splatter. It cooks evenly. It's simple. And if you line your pan with foil, simple cleanup.
And what temperature do you put it on?
I do 350.
350.
350.
Okay.
The late great Anthony Bourdain always said 350, and I'm going to follow his lead.
Yeah, if you're ever struggling for what to set your oven at, 350. You know, when you turn your oven on, what does it go to?
350.
That's because that's what you
It's kind of
normally
the
cook at.
universal setting.
Yeah, if you're roasting, 400 is usually where you go for roasting. But always check those recipes.
And if you're doing something that's low and slow, I like to sometimes set it about 280, 290. There you go. That's going to be plenty.
Okay, you'll
So
put it in the oven?
Yeah, I'm going to pop that in the oven, 350. Going to set a timer for 10 minutes. I like to turn it after 10 minutes, see how it's doing. Now, bacon is, you know, an individual thing. Some people like it very crispy. Some people like it a little more chewy. So you can always keep it in a little longer. I like mine not too crispy. So we're going to set a timer for 10 minutes, and then we're going to see what Kevin's working on.
All right.
What you got going back there?
I'm going to do the stuffing for my pork loin. So what I've got here, I've got 2 Braeburn apples. I love to cook with the Braeburn apples because they're kind of sweet, but they cook well and they don't dissolve down.
Oh.
So I've got 2 Braeburn apples that I've cored and sliced up, diced up. And I've got a shallot in here to give it a little kick to it. And that's in about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. So we're gonna get that started, and then we're gonna add some other goodies to it. So we're gonna let that cook for 4 or 5 minutes while you start on your next thing.
Oh, well, that's fast. I'm still setting my timer.
I know. I thought I set it for you.
Did you?
Yeah, I think it was already set. I'll check the oven while you're doing your
Oops.
next thing.
Okay. Well, my goodness, we're going so fast. I feel like we should slow down.
Oh.
I do.
Well,
I'm going to talk a little
I was
bit
gonna
about
say,
Smoky
tell me
Joe's Cafe.
Tell me a little bit about
Very
Smoky Joe's.
popular, kind of a jukebox review show. 39 songs. How would you like that as a music director?
Well, I had worse.
39 pop standards, all by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller. The Broadway cast recording won a Grammy. It opened at Broadway in 1995 and ran for 2,036 performances.
Wow.
Longest running music review in Broadway history. So that's kind of interesting. There's really no unifying theme. I read some reviews and they're like, great music. There's really no story. It's just one song after another. And great fun songs like Charlie Brown, Stand By Me, Fools Fall in Love, Hound Dog, one we just opened the show with, I'm a Woman. So really great music. And I'll tell you a little bit more about it later. And I will dive into it. I'm going to make this. I have to give a shout out to my mother-in-law, Rosalie Nichols, who gave me this recipe. And I make this about every 2 to 3 weeks at my house because this is what my hubby Chris has for breakfast every morning. Homemade granola. So, you start with a stick of butter and it's melted. I put it in, and guess what? I learned from the last episode, Kevin. Big bowl.
Big bowl.
Big bowl.
Big bowl. Very good.
So you melt that, and you're going to put in a half a cup of brown sugar. I'm going to get a big spoon out. Get ready. Half a cup of brown sugar. 1 to 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, depending on how much you'd like. I like a lot.
I was going to say you like it.
Yeah. Now this is very exact, so pay attention.
Okay.
A blob of peanut butter.
Mmm.
There's my blob.
You kind of eye that like you eyed the Kahlua from our last episode.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's my blob of peanut butter. And I'm going to grab a whisk.
Whisk here.
Need a whisk, please. I'm going to whisk all that up. And to make this nice little gooey base. You know, when I was at the store the other day, I thought, well, I'm just going to see how much granola costs. It's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Like a 12-ounce bag is between $4 and $5, and it goes kind of fast. So this is a great economical way to make your own granola. So that's smooth. Once it's all smoothed out, we're going to add 6 cups of oatmeal.
That looks good. 6 cups, that's a lot.
We're going to add a cup of almonds. You could do other nuts. If you like pecans or walnuts, you want to add that. You do almonds. I'm going to add a cup of coconut.
Wow.
People like coconut, hate coconut, so you can kind of add this if you like it. You don't have to. Okay? And we're just going to get that all coated. You want to mix it really well. It smells so good. Peanut butter and cinnamon. You want to get your clumps out.
So is that breakfast for one day for Chris, or?
Just about. Just about. No, I would say I actually started doubling my recipe when I make it, and it lasts about 3 weeks for us.
And how do you store it?
I have a big plastic upright container that you maybe would put cereal in.
Oh.
It has the little flip lid, and I just store it in that. I keep it in the pantry. It stays just fine because it's baked, so everything is baked up in it. So when everything's pretty well coated and there's no big blobs, that's it.
That's great.
You're gonna get your cookie sheets, which I have sprayed with non-stick coating.
Now, is this the single portion or the double?
This is a single portion, so when I make it, I have 2 big cookie sheets.
Okay.
I was making it every 10 days, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I can double this. Can I get that?
Mhm.
Then we're just gonna spread this out on the cookie sheet, like so. And guess what? Guess what temperature it bakes?
I would say 350.
Correctamundo. There you go.
We didn't even discuss that.
I know. You're just so smart,
about that?
Kevin. Just modest. And it goes, I bake mine about between 24 and 28 minutes. I start out at 12 minutes and then I go to 8 minutes and I fold it in. And I'm gonna do one folding so you'll be able to see it. But this is going in a 350 oven for about 12 minutes to start with.
All right, come back around. It's time to add some more stuff to our stuffing. More stuff for our stuffing. Get that? All right, so we've got our 2 apples, our shallots. We're going to add 3 cloves of garlic. And we're just going to let that go for about a minute or 2 until we get some fragrance from it. Smells good already. Adding that to the apple. This is a good fall recipe too, and we're coming into the fall. That's the nice apples that you can get in the orchards. Why do you keep pressing buttons over there? All right, so we're gonna let that go. See how these apples hold up? That's what I love about the Brayburns. They're not breaking down.
They're holding up.
They're holding up.
Like a good, strong woman.
Yeah. WOMAN.
M-A-N.
Yes. That doesn't know how to work the OVEN.
It's not my OVEN.
We need to get the same OVEN in both homes.
We
Wouldn't that be
should.
something?
Well, I hear you might be getting a new one, so you just
Yes.
need to get what I have.
Well, that's what I may do.
Okay, I'll send you all that info.
Please do.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to add,
Ooh, things are happening.
we're going to add a tablespoon of fresh rosemary and pork. Perfect
Yes,
marriage.
apples and pork, rosemary and
Yes.
pork.
Mix that in there.
Some things just go well together,
Isn't that pretty?
like us.
Yes. We go to get. Oh, wrong show.
Oh, wrong.
All right,
Oh.
so. is
Now
that
I
ready?
feel that one, kind of like you feel 1776.
For those of you who don't know, that's grease. All right.
But
then
we
we'll-
could feature grease.
We
Like
could.
we could fry stuff,
We
and we
could.
could talk about grease.
Okay, we've got some pecans
Ooh,
and the star ingredient, bacon. This is about 6 strips of bacon that I've.
are we gonna do all of our bacon packs later, or should we just sprinkle them in
Sprin-
like bacon bits?
Sprinkle them in while I'm pulling this together.
Okay, I wanted to say it takes a 200-pound pig to make 20 pounds of bacon. Think about that.
So I could probably make 24 pounds of bacon, maybe.
That's a big pig.
That is
Yeah.
a big pig.
And also another interesting fact I learned was that bacon came about in 1500 BC when the Chinese first started cooking the parts of the pig. I'm going to find out what
Are you
parts.
telling me bacon came from the Chinese and not from the deep south? I'm putting some salt and pepper in here. to
Chinese
season
were the
this.
first to cook salted pork bellies more than 3,000 years ago. So this makes bacon one of the world's oldest processed meats. Let's hear it for old processed meats, shall we?
We love you, old processed meat.
Hey! This smells fantastic.
Yeah.
With that rosemary and the apples. Oh man, that smells delicious.
Will you stir that for a second? I
I
want to
sure
get it.
will.
I saw quotes for it. Let's see if I can find it.
It's sizzling. Doesn't that look great? Try to get, when you're dicing your apples for this, you want to try to get them in close to the same size so that things cook evenly.
Yep.
Just a general cooking rule.
All right, let's turn the heat off of that so we can work with it in just a minute. We're going to go get our pork loin ready to go. All right, so I've already butterflied this pork loin for us.
A beautiful
'Cause most of the
butterfly.
time they come, you know, they're all rolled up like
Yes.
this. Well, they're not rolled up because they're in one piece like that. So basically what you do is you take and you cut about half an inch to an inch from the bottom and you just keep rolling it out until you get it all to the same. And yeah, I got a little hole there, but that's okay, it'll work out. I'm gonna put it on the
Pig
inside.
doesn't mind.
We're gonna put it on the inside.
This poor pig gave up caring about that a
Yeah.
long time ago.
So it's all laid out, and I've tried to get it the same thickness all the way through, which is what we need
Here,
to
I'm
do.
gonna slide that right
Okay,
in
I'm gonna wash the hands as it
there.
touch
I'm
the
gonna
pork,
do some stirring here in a minute.
and I'm going to season this. We're gonna do a lot of seasoning on
What are
this.
you gonna use, Kevin?
How about salt
and pepper. Ooh, Ooh, while you're seasoning it, I'm gonna go check on my bacon.
Go play with the oven
And I'm
again.
gonna turn it.
All right, salting and peppering the inside. We're gonna salt and pepper the outside too in just a minute, but we're gonna put our stuffing in first. All right, I'm gonna get a hot pan to put our stuffing on.
Oh, I had a hot pan out, but I
That's all
didn't
right.
shoot.
All right, you want two?
I just wanted to show the bacon real quick.
Okay. Show your bacon.
Show me the bacon. So you can see that brown sugar is melting around it. I'm just gonna turn all these over and then I'm gonna pop it back in and let it keep baking. Let's see, I don't know, maybe people love all that bacon fat. Maybe I'm in the minority, but I like it a little leaner, which is probably an oxymoron when you're talking about bacon.
Yes, it is.
But
Well, the Chinese invented it. They don't really have a weight issue.
they don't have a weight issue. What's happening over there?
Well, you've got the oven doing all kinds of crazy things. All right, you turned it off. Now I had to preheat it.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
Our next episode is Oven 101 for Barb.
That's what I need.
All right, so we've seasoned our pork loin, and we're going to add the stuffing to it. So we're just going to spoon it out here.
No.
There's a lot of. Why do you keep playing with?
Pay no attention to me.
The beeping's driving me bananas. I look back now; she's on the microwave.
You know what? I'm gonna just top it all off by talking about 1776.
Uh-huh.
It really make you a happy man.
Well, then that can be your solo episode.
Fine.
All right, so we're putting our apple and bacon mixture. Now, there's a great quote. We're putting bacon into our pork loin, and the quote is, "There is no better accompaniment to pork than pork." I would have to agree with that.
I would, but I have to say apples,
Yes,
bacon, rosemary,
yes,
also nice accompaniments after
Yes.
the additional pork.
yes, I agree.
Ooh, that looks so good. This really, I know this is September, but this
Mhm.
kind of just puts me in the feeling of fall and Thanksgiving, and I know it's almost fall.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not,
it is fall.
It's not Halloween.
It's not
Well, it's
Halloween.
not fall yet because 22nd of September is when fall
That's true.
hits.
We're close.
We're close.
We're very
All right.
close. So this is perfect
Yeah.
for a fall meal.
Yeah. So now what we're going to do is we're going to roll this all together.
Roll with it, baby. I'm gonna get this out of your way. Oh my.
And a little bit will fall out at the very end, but that's okay.
That's okay.
All right.
You shove
And we're
it
gonna
on
put
the side. You need your cookie sheet ready?
Nope, not yet. We put
Gotta
our
order some.
actually, if you get some wax or some saran wrap out of that top drawer,
Yes, chef.
because we're not going to cook this one today. All right, so we take some string and we're going to tie it up. We're going to bind it up.
Bind it all up. Okay.
I usually do 3 of them.
This is good to watch. I don't do this very often.
This is
I often use toothpicks, but this is a better method.
yeah.
'Cause then you could just snip it and
I'll put my pinky there to hold it in.
tie a little bow.
No bow.
No bow.
No bow. And then we cut that off.
Well, you're doing the other two.
Yes.
Do you happen to know who directed Smoky Joe's Cafe? Well known.
Scott Ellis.
Good guess.
That was wrong.
No.
That's why you.
That's a guess.
Oh, that's a
an
guess.
incorrect guess.
Okay.
Jerry Zaks.
Oh yes.
Yeah. It was nominated for Best Musical, Best Featured Actor, Victor Trent Cook, I've heard of, and get this, 3 of the women were nominated for Best Featured Actress. Brenda Braxton, B.J. Crosby, and Dealey Lively. I do not believe any of them won. Probably cancel each other out. Up for Best Director, up for Best Choreographer, who was Joey McNeely. And it lost to, this was 1995. Do you want to guess what it lost to? It was not 1776. It didn't lose to that.
Was that the year Contact won?
No? No, but that's an excellent guess. This
she's,
was,
she's patronizing me today.
I'll give you a hint. The star was Glenn Close.
Oh, Sunset Boulevard.
So it lost to Sunset Boulevard.
For Best Musical?
Which actually had a story. So
Yeah.
Smoky Joe Cafe didn't, just had really good
Right.
music. So there you have it.
There you have it.
That's what I know about Smoky Joe's Cafe. A lot of fun. I remember when it was on the Tony Awards.
Yeah.
Just high energy.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
All right, there we have it all put
Look
together.
at that.
And
Now
now,
you ready for a cookie sheet?
nope, not yet. We're going to salt and pepper the outside of that
Salt and
because
pepper.
we've salt and peppered the inside. Remember?
Yes, yes. I have to get ready to stir my granola. I'm gonna stir some space.
And
It's-
pepper.
Pepper.
Okay, and then we're going to do one more thing.
What else?
I'll show you if I can find. Oh, there it is. We're going to take some mustard.
Oh,
This is,
now you're speaking my love
Well,
language.
this is
Is this what we got at the?
no, this is a wine mustard. It's apricot and thyme wine grain mustard. Thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
And we're going to just
I've
spread that
used
across
that
the top.
mustard we got at the
Farmer's
Overland Park
Market?
Farmer's Market, which, by the way, they sell at Press Shopper. Here at
Oh.
Press Shoppers. Oh my goodness, that would go well on here too. Although I
Yes.
think the sweetness probably of your apricot
Mhm. Yeah, it takes
is
the
going to serve it well.
take a little taste of it.
All right.
Don't take the jar.
Don't
Just
take
take
the jar.
taste.
Well, I
a
always stick my
taste.
finger in, so
A taste.
I love
Well,
mustard.
I'm gonna have to go back to the winery and get some more.
Mm.
Isn't that good?
That
kinda-
I
no.
could see that going much better with pork.
Yeah.
The other one's stronger, more tart. This has that sweetness to it.
Now, here's where some people may disagree with me on this because I'm not gonna cook this now.
Well, I'll just bite them. You're not gonna
You
cook it
can put the mustard on right before you're gonna cook it. But what I like to do, and I'll show you, I'm gonna wrap it up in some saran wrap here and then
Yes.
save it for later when I want to cook it. But I think if you put the mustard on it now, it kind of seeps into the meat and it goes through more and gives it time to marinate a little bit.
I think I
I
agree
don't know
with
if
you.
I'm wrong. or
I
not,
agree
but
with
that's
you.
the way I do it.
Mhm.
All right,
I
so.
think that sounds like a genius thing to do.
Well, thank you. So we're all wrapped now, and we're gonna take that, we're gonna put it onto our saran wrap. And I'm doing a lot of hand washing today.
Well, as we all should.
And you can taste the stuffing if you want, because it's all
I would
carbs.
love to taste
See what you
that.
think about that.
Yeah, apples and bacon and rosemary. Why would I not?
Yeah.
Mm. You know, leftover this, put it in a little ramekin, bake it up, extra dressing on the table. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And I'm
That is so good.
gonna do one this direction.
I'm gonna try another bite.
Okay.
I'm
This
just
is
gonna
about a 2-pound pork loin. And like I
try-
said,
Over here, I don't wanna waste it.
it's just about the right size. You'll get 6 to 8 portions out of this, depending on how large you make them. And look, we're all bundled up.
I'll bundle up for fall.
Now, if you want to do these, like if I would get maybe at least 2, because if you have more than 4 or 5 people for dinner, you're gonna need 2.
I find with pork loins, people eat a lot. It's so
That's true.
delicious.
That's true.
And you slice them, they don't look that big. You want to err on the side of extra pork.
But the nice thing about
That's just a motto in life.
so this is all set. Kind of looks like a sub, doesn't it?
It
This
does.
is all set. You can put this right into the freezer. So take it out, thaw it like the day before.
What?
Yeah. So you could make 2 or 3 of these.
Hey, guess
Something's
what?
buzzing
The
over there.
timer's going off that I set appropriately.
So you can put this in the freezer and thaw it out for when you have guests come. And I'm going to show you what it looks like right out of the oven.
Hold on.
Oh, we're going to
But
start.
wait.
I'm
Look
gonna
at
put
this.
this in the fridge
Now,
then.
careful, it's hot.
Okay. Oh, that's
So
not
this
cooking.
is the granola after about 10 to 12 minutes. And you want to, I start and just take my edges and push them towards the middle, all the way around like that. So I do this after about 12 minutes, and then I do it every 8 minutes. Because you don't want it to burn.
Nope.
So afterwards, you just want to keep a close eye. And this is a good time, if you're seeing any clumps of butter, break them up with your spatula, get everything in towards the middle, and then just spread it out again. Everything's going to bake evenly. Can you smell that cinnamon?
Yeah, that smells great.
Then I always just give it a little jiggle, even it out.
A little jiggle.
And back it goes for 8 minutes.
8 minutes. Oh, here she goes back to the oven.
I've got to use the timer.
Yes. I'm gonna have to move around you to get to my pork loin.
Okay, and the bacon, I can just eyeball it. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna pull it out and show it for you.
And here's our pork loin. Completed and decorated with some rosemary on the sides. Now, before you serve it, you gotta make sure you cut the string off, and I've already done that, because you don't want anybody to get string.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
Isn't that beautiful? We'll cut into it in just a second.
Okay.
But let's finish off with a little appetizer. That's so easy.
Do it, shall we? You get your stuff over here.
Okay.
I wanted
Yes,
to.
I'll
I
get my
wanted to
stuff over
do
here.
a little poem while you're
A
trying
little
to
poem.
A little poem
Oh.
in honor of bacon.
In honor of a bacon poem.
Bacon is red. Bacon is rough. One strip of bacon is never enough.
Oh, that's so true.
Thank you. It's true. That's an easy one. You can all memorize that and recite it. When you're having BLTs,
Yes.
pork
I'm gonna
tenderloin,
grab go here first.
what do you need there? This looks interesting. I see brown sugar. I see fixins for something we had earlier. What
Yes.
do you need?
Well, I was gonna get a teaspoon. I'll just use less than a tablespoon. Did you have it somewhere? I don't think there's over there. Okay, so this is a really quick appetizer to assemble, but it takes quite a long time to bake. So you want to do this ahead of time. You can't do this when people are saying they're on their way over. So what we do is we take a regular club cracker, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 1 teaspoon. This is a tablespoon. We're gonna do 1 teaspoon, so we're not gonna do as much.
About a third of that
Can you grab a
tablespoon.
piece of that bacon for me?
A piece.
The bacon?
Oh, this.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's the bacon.
This is bacon.
That's right. Just
wait,
1
there's
piece.
2.
Yeah. You
And
put your.
bacon.
This is Parmesan cheese and brown sugar,
We're gonna wrap.
and we're gonna wrap that around.
Oh
I'll do it
my
over this.
goodness.
That's all there is to it. And then we're gonna lay it on the baking sheet.
I think we call this $1 million appetizer.
Yeah. So I need the cracker.
I'm gonna
first.
get my bacon out.
So we're gonna do 2 kinds of these. We're gonna do a sweet and a savory. I guess you can guess what the sweet is.
Brown sugar.
Yep.
Oh, look at this. Oh my.
So let's do a couple of brown sugar ones.
Where did that go? Here we go. Look at this bacon.
Now the brown sugar will bake down and kind of run out a little bit. So I use a little bit more of the brown sugar with the bacon.
So you put the brown sugar inside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Same way you did
Okay.
the Parmesan. And then when you get these all assembled, yeah,
Decadent.
and they look so old-fashioned-y.
I'd have to
think-
guess this was in an old
Mhm.
50s or 60s
Yep.
cookbook sometime.
Yeah, kind of retro.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do one more
But
of
that's
each.
fun.
Yeah, it is fun, and they're so easy to eat. It's one of those things that you just put out on a tray. The person that told me about this dish, she said that she puts it on a really contemporary serving platter. So you've got the contemporary retro, yeah.
Meeting nouveau.
Now, what is interesting about this, to tell the difference, I'll show you when they come out of the oven. I've got some already made. The brown sugar ones will be darker than the.
Because it's melting.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, she's just excited to get her hands on that bacon.
I love to touch the bacon.
All right, so we finished that off. And then these go, now this sounds crazy, but these go in the oven 200 degrees
200.
for 2 hours. For 2 hours.
Sounds like meringue.
Yeah, so we're gonna move this over here.
Okay, I'm gonna
You're
watch.
always in my
Well,
way
you know,
today.
bacon is greasy, and
It
so
is
we're
greasy.
feeling the need to keep our hands washed, which is a good thing.
So here we have our finished product that I made yesterday. Can you see the Parmesan ones are lighter
Yes.
and the
That's a great way to tell
the brown
them
sugar,
apart.
yeah, are darker. So you could do the brown sugar ones. You could do on a dessert area if you wanted to, and this could be an appetizer. That could be some kind of a dessert thing if you wanted to do that. The other nice thing about these
I
things,
want to try those.
you can freeze them, put them in a bag and freeze them, and then when your company
After you
comes,
bake them?
after you bake them, put them in the refrigerator, freeze them in the freezer, freeze them, and then when you're ready to use them, take them out, put them in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes, and that crisps them back up. So have a try of. I'm going to try the Parmesan one.
Okay, I'm gonna try the brown sugar.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, stop it.
Mm-hmm. So good.
That's ridiculous.
Let's see what our camera woman thinks of this. See if we get a thumbs up from her.
Mmm.
Mmm.
Mmm. That was a...
A thumbs up?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you know what? I know we're getting close. You hit me with some bacon facts while I get my granola out.
My bacon fact is that the best sandwich of the year for me, of any kind of sandwich, is a BLT
No. Yes.
when the tomatoes are ripe. That's the best time to have a BLT.
Oh,
The other thing I like to do is keep bacon bits around, not bacon bits like you buy in the grocery store, because they're not really. What do you?
Just move my hot.
No, you're using your own thing. Put it
No,
right
I put a hot pad out here, and then I turned around.
under your notes.
No, it wasn't that one. Oh, it's that one. It's okay.
She's all over the place
There you
today,
go.
folks.
It needs to bake a little bit more, but you can see it's getting brown. This is my finished product. So we're very close. Very close. Now the other thing I do, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this, I get golden flaxseed from Trader Joe's. You can get it any numerous places. Then I grind it up in my coffee grinder because I have been told that the whole seed doesn't digest well, but when you grind it up and it's got that nutty flavor in it,
Mm-hmm.
I just sprinkle that over the top,
Love that.
half a cup, and I mix that in. Little extra health benefits, and there is your granola.
I'm gonna get a plate to serve
Now-
our pork on.
Chris Nichols has it every morning like cereal, and he adds craisins. You can add fruit to it. You could add dried craisins to this and have it mixed in there. You can always top it with fresh fruit. And I'm telling you, if you bought this amount at the grocery store, it would probably cost you 15 to 20 bucks. And my guess is I probably spent $4 on the ingredients. I buy my oatmeal in bulk. You've got the almonds. So, you know, homemade granola is the best. And I'll tell you, it makes your house smell like bacon oatmeal cookies. So,
Have a look at our pork loin.
oh, look at that.
It's important that you get at least one roll in it so you can see the
Yeah.
difference. Yeah.
And I want to put a couple pieces of bacon on the side.
Yes, you can.
This is our $1 million.
And
We're
you've got-
calling it $2 million bacon.
You have a fork, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to put some of these on the corners.
Well, I'm going to cut into that. Well, actually, I can cut into this piece so we don't have to mess that up. If you can pull in close, you can see that the pork is just a bit pink. So you want to stop baking at, it goes in the oven at 325 for an hour and a half. But what I do is I start checking it after about an hour and 15 minutes because you don't want it to get too overdone.
No, it gets
Because
dry.
you want it to be a little pink on the inside. And that's
This
totally
is a
cooked.
great time probably for a meat thermometer.
Yes.
Do you want to make sure it reaches 165, I think?
No, 145.
145.
Yeah.
And it will continue to cook when you pull it out of the oven. So you can air a few degrees under and it's going to keep cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try that?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
That's the perfect mustard. That's good.
Ooh,
Mm.
still moist.
Still
Delish.
nice. Yes. It's not hard to make. You saw how we made it. It's not hard and it's very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
This could be, if you didn't want to do a turkey for Thanksgiving, this could certainly be a great New Year's
Yeah.
lunch.
And I would say if you're doing it for Thanksgiving or a big meal, make extra stuffing.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in a baking dish and have extra
Mhm.
stuffing because that is fantastic and
Well-
everybody wants more stuffing.
And what you could do with this apple mixture, apple
Apple,
stuffing
easy for you to say.
that we're putting in there, is you could mix it with some Pepperidge Farm stuffing mix.
Yes.
So you get some more breading in it and put that in there. I would use some apple juice to get some moisture in it because the base is going to dry out.
Yeah.
So
Well,
make
that
sure.
pork is so tender.
The secret with
Try a piece of our
stuffing
meat
is to
bacon.
make sure that it's more moist than you think it should be, because it will always, if it's at the moisture that you think it should be, then it's going to dry out. when
Add
you
more.
bake it. Add more. We're gonna
Try
try
a
some
piece of
bacon.
that bacon.
You got off the best part, but I'll still try it. Mmm. So good.
Okay. Mmm. Mm-mm-mm.
This would be good on just a slice of ham too.
I know. I
Country
kinda want
ham
you to
that you
just
get.
try a little bite of
Mmm.
granola. Let's see what you think.
Okay. Now, do you just have it dry or do you put milk on
Chris puts milk in it. But you can sprinkle it on top of ice cream. You can sprinkle it on top of yogurt. You can make parfaits.
Mm, that's good.
You can add dried fruits to it. It's very versatile, and it's so much cheaper to make it at home.
That'd be good with some dried apricots in it.
Yep.
Or cranberries for the holiday.
Yep.
You could make this, put cranberries in it, and give it away at the
And
holidays.
pistachios, and have your red and green. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
yes, there we go. We'll see at the holidays.
Yeah.
Wow, we got a lot done
We
today.
got a lot. This bacon is versatile.
It
and,
is.
Thanks everybody for joining us.
Yeah.
Happy fall.
Happy
Just
fall.
around the corner.
And we've got some fun things planned for October, so join us back. We'll do some more fall baking.
And if you want to subscribe, click the button below for our
That's
YouTube
right.
channel, and you'll get notifications, you'll get the recipes. It's a great way to stay in touch with the Sing for Your Supper gang,
Yeah,
which we'd love for that gang to grow.
absolutely. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time on Sing for Your Supper.
Bye.